Hi, I'm Christian Lee Hutson. I'm going to play some songs and talk about some shit that I brought with me. Alright, this song's called Strawberry Lemonade. In a dream, drinking strawberry lemonade, feeding quarters to a pinball game, and getting paid to look the other way. My foam finger slapped me right in the face. I banged my head on the plexiglass. I can't remember where my house is at, and this Mom's Against Drunk Driving ad keeps playing on a loop in the back of the cab. What a pitiful hill to climb every night of my evil fucking life, to await to the end of the line. I swear I'm really done this time. I said goodbye to my oldest friend, could barely string together sentences then. $100 bill folded into his hand. I'll see you on the other side of the fence. I need headphones to fall asleep. I close my eyes and I pretend to be in my little room on Rossbury. Stepdad reading Treasure Island to me. Pain is a way you can move through time and visit people that are gone in your mind, and smooth over every wrinkle you find. The truth can't hurt you if you know it's a lie. I've had this thing that Joan said to me, circling in my head the last few weeks. We were raised on dreams that keep turning our fingers green. A baby boomer's last acid trip, pushing up a casket ledge of some jacaranda petals in a basket, wrapped up in plastic. Everything is an accident. God's truth is elastic. We sent a man to the moon and back again, strapped into a trash can. There's a consolation prize in the corner of my mind. There's a consolation prize in the corner of my mind. I will always be your friend. All right. Well, what I actually brought for my show and tell is what I would bring anyway, for my show and tell, because I bring it kind of everywhere. But it's this guitar, which I got at like a really, in kind of a special way. When I was a kid, I had just like a really crappy acoustic guitar, and it was really insanely just difficult to play. And I had a friend who had like a really nice Martin acoustic guitar, and I would go over to his house and play it. And I felt like I was immediately like a 10 times better of a guitar player just because like my hand could actually fit around it. And they were just built really well. And a few years ago, I was on tour in the States, in Arizona, and I had made just like a little bit of money and was like, oh fuck, my acoustic guitar that I had on that tour had kind of broken, and I needed to just go buy something to replace it. And I took like a $50 Uber to like go to this part of Phoenix that had a really random kind of hole in the wall guitar shop, and I was like, oh, I'll just buy something that's like cheap so that I can replace it and do this last show with it. And I went into this shop and I was playing, like they probably had like, I don't know, 12 acoustic guitars. I played like every single one of them. They're all like in like the $500 range of acoustic guitars. So I was like, oh, I'm going to buy another like just shitty acoustic guitar. And then they had this one guitar that was a Martin, like my friend's guitar. And the shop owner was like kind of sitting there with me while I was playing all the other guitars. And he's like, oh, you really got to play this guitar. It's like the best guitar that we have in the shop. And I was like, oh, I can't play it because I know it's going to be too expensive. They're just like kind of high-end guitars. And I don't want to like, I know I'm going to like it already and like fall in love with it. And I don't want to fall in love with it and then not be able to afford it. And I took this guitar down. He's like, I was like, yeah, there's just no way. And he handed it to me. He's like, oh, just play it. Like, see what you think of it. And he handed it to me and I like played it for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, I can't play it any longer because it's really bumming me out. There's no way I'm going to be able to take it home. And he's like, you sound really good playing that guitar. And I was like, yeah, I just can't afford it. The sticker price is like insanely high. And he was like, well, what could you pay for it? And I was like, $500. I can't pay like anything for it. I could buy like one of these shitty guitars. He's like, well, the guitar, it sounds really good on you, so I think you should just take it for that amount of money. And it's my favorite guitar that I got in a really serendipitous way from a kind-hearted person who just thought that I sounded nice playing it. So that is my show and tell. I'm going to play... I haven't played this song live yet, but I've been wanting to kind of, so I'll probably fuck it up a little bit. But it is a song about, I kind of started writing it about I read this book about the band The Replacements, which is one of my favorite bands. And it was a band that had two different, oops, I just knocked that. Is that okay? You can edit that out if you want. Just leave it in, I guess. I don't give a shit. It's a band of two brothers. There's like the main singer, and then there are two brothers, the Stinson brothers. And at one point in the band, one of the brothers was kind of like becoming an alcoholic, and just going a little bit too hard, and they had to make the hard decision of like kicking him out of the band. And so he was fired by his own little brother, who was like much younger than him, which I don't know why that story is kind of was sad and interesting to me. So I wrote this little song that's like very vaguely inspired by that band and Bob getting kicked out. So I'll try that. Necessary evil. This is the church. This is the steamroller. Blackout curtains. Light pollution. Blank checks and reluctant music. always impossible. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Quitting them, dissolving in stages. Nothing you can do to change it. Adult babysitters taking out the garbage. Aging out, still clinging to the party. Fear of heights, the shoulders of a giant, playing bass. It's hard to watch, it's hard to look away from. Moving heaven and earth every few months. Easy ways impossible. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to do anything. Okay. This one requires a little bit of tuning, I think. When I was a kid, we had this friend that let me set this up here for a second. We had a friend who we all went to high school with, who was just kind of like, I guess, like neglectfully parented by parents who just didn't have. It's not that they didn't like care about him, but they just kind of like let us all party at his house all the time. They had like a back house behind their house that was like a garage that was just kind of dilapidated and had just like old like tire parts and shit in it, and they had like moved like a gross ass couch that had been like pissed on in there, and my friend made this into like his own little clubhouse, and it was where we'd all go and get really drunk when we were in high school, because his parents just didn't give a shit about what happened. Really didn't. I don't even know if they knew what was going on back there. They're just kind of like I don't know, not paying attention. But yeah, we that his little place is mentioned in this song a few times. He had become like the he like made set different like rules, ground rules for this place, which is funny because we were all like 15 years old, and he'd be like, this is the way that you rule the back house, or whatever is what we called it. And he'd be like, you can't use this bathroom, you're not supposed to use this bathroom. And every time someone would use this bathroom, and he would get so angry, no one ever listened to him. Or like, no smoking weed inside. Of course, everyone smoked weed inside. Anyway, just the song has almost nothing to do with him, but it's just tied to these people or whatever in the time that this existed in. And it's called Northsiders. I was new in town, kinda goth. I met you in the science squad. You asked if I had any pot. We're going up to Mikey's spot, covering important ground. I tried cocaine at my cousin's house. Yeah, I'm probably addicted now. The things that children lie about. I didn't notice it was getting late. You offered me a place to stay. We live up in the Palisades. Tell your folks you ran away. Besides, you're a Northsider now. Nothing's going to change it, pal. We were so pretentious then, didn't trust the government. You said that we were communists and thought that we invented it. Morrissey apologists, amateur psychologists, serial monogamists. We went to different colleges. But you said that we would always be branches on the same old tree, reaching away from each other for eternity. And you know I can't argue with that. Nothing's going to change it now. Shop, but I couldn't get the weekend off. She told me I was getting soft. I read an article about the accident, probably reaching for cigarettes, and missed the brake lights up ahead. I hope it was an instant death. Sometimes I imagine us way down the line, getting fat somewhere in the countryside. It's crazy how things shake out sometimes. But maybe that's enough magic for me. Nothing's going to change it now. All right.